Yeah. And it's different than when it was 2016. You know, the game has been elevated. As we can tell, there's no expense being spared. We had a black billionaire's lunch. Yeah. You understand? Right. And we here together, and we're going to keep staying together. We getting tighter. That's right. You know what I'm saying? And united we stand. And ain't nothing else to us. Black excellence. That's what I'm talking about. We ain't going nowhere. I see you, Tom. What up? Yes. Hey, what's up, y'all? Happy Friday. To all my brothers out there, it's important to also get hair masks, you know, to revive and
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Gray Mars.
And I'm D White.
Today on the new party, we're going to break down the P Diddy arrest. Did he do it? In that intro video, he talks about Black excellence, being a billionaire, how great his life was. Do you guys think they're giving him masks in jail? Because he's currently sitting in a Brooklyn jail as we speak. Gray, what's your thoughts on the Diddy arrest?
Well, we were on the spaces with Dana and Judge O'Brien last night, and what I said was power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely, meaning that when someone has absolute power, they basically are more likely to have less morals and be less ethically responsible. So I feel like Diddy has been rich for a very long time, has had a lot of power in hip hop. He's responsible for one of the biggest rappers, Biggie's in my top 5. So he is a pioneer of hip hop. So basically, I feel like it could make sense that he may be targeted. But like Dana said, she said she doesn't think he's guilty. But I'm just going to say, let the government say if he's guilty or not. And then I'll actually make my comments on that. What about you, D?
Yeah, I was very concerned about this whole thing when it first started. I mean, I knew Diddy had wild parties, but to the degree that he did these things, I mean, it was kind of wild. The sex workers and all that stuff. I don't want to pass any judgment, and I don't want to say he's guilty until all the facts of the case come out. But I don't believe that the federal government is just targeting him for no reason. He was very influential. Like I said, he's been powerful for a very long time. He has a lot of fans and a huge base. He's responsible for some of the greatest music by a generation. But if these things are true, Diddy's cooked, man. It's terrible.
Did he do it? So I have the press briefing. It's a little long. We won't watch all of it, but I think it's important to hear what the AUSA had to say and be informed on what the charges are and what evidence they have. So I'm going to play a little bit of it and just play half of it. It's kind of long.
Interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant.
All right, guys, because it's so long, we're going to break this up and go through a few things here. Last night on the spaces that we had with Judge Joe Brown, he said something very interesting, Gray. He said that these alleged freak offs or orgies, so to say, have been going on in Hollywood since the 60s. He even told us a story of it going back allegedly to JFK and Marilyn Monroe being a part of it. I've also read this. He said he spoke to someone directly that told him they witnessed this. I mean, the thing is this: do I think he's a terrible person and should be sentenced to jail for these freak offs? No, because most of these people were probably willing participants. But the issue that I believe that they're talking about is he was allegedly drugging people, and we'll get into that as well, and filming them illegally. Gray, what's your thoughts on that? And we'll break it up as we go because there's a lot of charges he has.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. If it was consensual, I mean, people do consensual stuff all the time with multiple partners and with drugs involved. But it's basically that, with a famous person, you are somebody you have to have some type of control. But I feel like Diddy took it over the top as far as trying to
Right.
conceal his actions. If he was more open with what was going on and not trying to keep people from leaving or saying what was happening, then people wouldn't be accusing you. The whole time he was just hiding and trying to pretend. What about you, D?
Yeah, I agree with what you guys are saying. Even as a child growing up, I remember hearing about, well, not a child, as a younger person. I remember hearing about, parties that these rich people have, where they do all kind of lewd and lascivious acts. And I don't feel like anybody should be prosecuted for what they do in the privacy of their own bedrooms and their own sexual life. If that's what you're into, go for it, have a blast. But like you say, you can't drug people. Like a lot of his bodyguards made claims that all the liquor at most of Diddy parties are all drugged. They've drugged it
No,
all.
that's not how they drug them. The claim was they were putting it in the juice and the orange juice. So people thought that they were being, they were guarding their drinks, but they weren't like dropping it in. It was mixed in.
Yeah, so you can't do stuff like that. That's where the line should be drawn. If grown
Right.
people want to go to a Diddy party and have a great time, whatever that means for them, not for me, but whatever have a great time means for those guys, have at it. But you can't be drugging people and saying people without their consent. And then the fact that he recorded these things is crazy. I mean, what did you think was going to happen? You didn't think that at some point somebody's going to be upset about the things you've done to them once they realize?
And I think that's the bigger thing here, right? And this is what I said last night on the spaces. Two things can be true. Do I think he was recording these people and having these freak offs? Absolutely. But do I think he's being targeted? Yes, I do think he's being targeted. He pissed the wrong person off. It could be any number of things. And I have some more clips that I'll get into who I think he upset and why. But definitely he upset the wrong person. And I think that's what's going on here. I think the industry knew about this. Like I said last night, I was on the radio a few years in college. I heard rumors for many years that he was doing this. So if you were in the industry, you knew of these type of parties. To this extent, I don't think people knew that he was drugging people per se, but it was a known fact that his parties got crazy.
And
Um,
everybody knew about the Diddy parties, man. Everybody in the industry
everybody,
definitely knew. This was no secret.
no secret. So let me play the rest of what he's saying.
As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal
Can you
abuse
guys see it?
so that they
No,
would
it's not on the
participate
screen.
in the freak-offs,
Okay.
and that Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged
It's not.
1 second.
victim in a Los Angeles hotel when the victim was attempting to flee. As alleged, these assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims, which took days or weeks to heal. In addition to the violence, the indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-offs. He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims. And the indictment alleges that he maintained control over the victims in several ways. including by giving them drugs, by giving and threatening to take away financial support or housing, by promising them career opportunities, by monitoring their whereabouts, and even by dictating their physical appearance. Because of all of this, the indictment alleges that the victims did not believe they could refuse Combs without risking their security or facing more abuse. The indictment also alleges other acts of violence undertaken by Combs and others, including violence against witnesses to his abuse, kidnapping, and arson. The indictment alleges that on more than one occasion, Combs carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten victims and witnesses.
Another thing that I learned is the amount of guns. Do you guys know that he had guns with sawed-off serial numbers? That's part of what they're alleging in all of this as well.
I
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
that.
I seen the pictures.
Yeah. And just so the fans know, or everyone watching, the arson that they're referring to is allegedly he set Kid Cudi's car on fire because he was dating Cassie at the time. So I just wanted to give that backstory so everyone know what they're referring to.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Now, Combs did not do this all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. Use his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way. Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff. The indictment alleges that those individuals facilitated the freak-offs. They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies, including drugs, baby oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. When the hotel rooms got damaged, they helped clean it up. They arranged for victims and commercial sex workers to travel for the freak-offs, and they delivered large quantities of cash to Combs to pay for the commercial sex workers. The indictment also alleges that they helped Combs cover up his crimes. During the March 2016 incident at the LA hotel that I mentioned earlier, a member of the hotel security staff intervened, and Combs attempted to bribe the staff member with a stack of cash to make sure that what happened was kept quiet. And as the indictment alleges, in late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs's crimes, he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims and giving them a false narrative of what they had experienced. And as alleged, Combs used others to help conceal his abuse by monitoring and preventing victims from leaving a location in order to hide their injuries, or by locating and contacting a victim who had attempted to flee. As part of this investigation, in March of this year, special agents from HSI executed search warrants at Combs's residences in Miami and Los Angeles. They also executed a warrant for Combs's electronic devices. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims. And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly.
All right, y'all. I mean, this is pretty much wrapping up. Fun fact, they said there was over 1,000 bottles of baby oil. I have a video of it that I could play as we go on. But I mean, this was pretty serious, these freak-offs. I mean, what do you think they were using the baby oil for? I mean, guess they were pretty ashy, huh?
Diddy's a wild boy, man. He's a wild boy. 1,000 bottles of lube is diabolical. I mean, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, he's wilding. He's definitely wilding. I mean, and I thought it was just so funny how many times that guy said freak offs. He said freak offs over and over. Diddy has made like two phrases, freak offs and no Diddy, just from this case.
No Diddy.
Yeah.
Another sad thing, I got an exclusive report that Diddy has tried so hard to get his freedom that his children are even impacted by this. I want to show you guys this. I mean, it really broke my heart to see, because the girls are innocent. The little girls are innocent, and now they're being impacted by this. So Diddy, as everyone may or may not know, he begged for his freedom. He offered for a $50 million bond, which has been denied. At this point, he's going to stay in jail until his trial. I don't predict that's going to happen. I think they're waiting until it gets to the final judge. But can y'all see my screen?
No, it's too small. We can't read it.
Okay, well, I'm going to zoom in. So, pretty much, can y'all see it now clearly?
No.
Still too small.
Okay, so I'll read it to you. It's for a $50 million bond, and pretty much he co-signed by him, his mother, his sister, the mother of his oldest daughter, which is Chance, and his three adult sons. He recently paid off his $18 million, his $48 million mortgage. He owed about $18 million and paid it off in August. So much so that his children and his mother have had to give up their passports. I mean,
I saw that.
That's really sad. I mean, I don't think the little girl should be affected by this, but unfortunately, I guess they think he's that much of a flight risk that they ain't taking no chances. D, what's your thoughts on them having to give up their passports and the $50 million bond being revoked or
I
denied,
mean,
I should say?
I do think it's very unfortunate that the kids are impacted, but in this circumstance, I think it's probably necessary because Diddy has the means to get on a jet and disappear with his family forever. And there's a lot of places where I'm actually surprised he's still here. And there's a lot of places that don't extradite criminals back to America. And he has the funds, and even if he couldn't get all of his money or all of his assets, if I was Diddy and I knew the feds were coming, and I've done these things, and he knows if they've done them or not. If he's really guilty, he knows. While all the rest of us assume. If I knew that I've done those things, I would have got my family and I would have left. I'd have been gone. You guys could have talked about me on the radio. You could have did your podcast about me. All you want. Me and my family would go live somewhere great in another
Guess
country.
what? Fun fact: Morocco is one of those countries.
Yeah, it's a lot. What was it? Not Dame Dash. What's the other guy? The
Russell
other
Simmons.
Yeah, Russell. That's what Russell Simmons did, right? Didn't he leave?
Yeah.
Yeah. He did the same thing. He got his family and he left. And
He
I
left
mean,
his family though. He didn't bring them with him. They went on. They're the reason they after him. His wife is Kamora. What's her name? Kamora Lee Simmons, and the daughter Cruz accused him of something. So he ran. He went by himself. But Diddy was there for a while. It was Bali, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I assumed that Diddy was going to do. But they probably assumed the same thing, and that's why they confiscated.
Yeah, confiscated his passports.
Those are all the places
that don't extradite: Montenegro, Botswana, China and Russia, UAE, Central African Republic, Algeria, Moldova, Brunei, China, Gulf States, Morocco, Afghanistan, Vietnam, Ecuador, and Colombia. Oh, Colombia's not bad. He could go kick it there.
Yeah, have a great life. Have a great life in Colombia.
I feel like they say that, but I feel like they work together. I feel like somehow they would have found some way to get Diddy. And according to Mace, Diddy has everything in his mother's name. So I don't feel bad for the kids. I mean, they'll still be very rich after Diddy goes to prison and has to go through all of this. So, I mean, just the cry for them because they don't got passports, I don't feel bad for them in that scenario. And, like, they got the experience having a famous rich father for a long time, so they got to stick with him through the hard times as well.
Well, I have a funny video I want to show you guys of the lube. I have exclusive video. I would like to share this for the viewers that may not see. Can you guys see it?
Expand it. Yeah, that's good.
That's the lube.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of damn lube.
Wow.
I mean, I can't make this up.
And then, I mean, why were there so many male sex workers? That's crazy to me, man.
Have you seen the 50 Cent clip on Breakfast Club where he's like, because he was a ghostwriter for Diddy before. I don't know if you go play that clip, Nora, but he was a ghostwriter for Diddy before. He said that we first came there and started working with Diddy. Diddy was like, "Hey, I want to take you shopping. Let's go shopping."
Yeah.
And you saw that?
Yeah, I remember that.
People, and I've heard from the beginning, it was always gay allegations against Diddy And I think,
I have the clip if you'd like me to play it.
yeah, play it for the viewers.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Keep talking while I load it up.
So, I mean, he's had these type of allegations around him since the 90s. People have said this about him. So, I mean, it's not like this is just
It's
like
not
fresh allegations
devastating.
with him. Like, go
Right.
ahead.
I was like, yeah, like, oh, it's like, yo, so yo, when we gonna get the chance to, to kick it, like we can just hang out, nigga. We gotta kick it. It's like, yo, why don't we like go shopping or some shit? I mean, like, I pay for it. And I was like, what the fuck this nigga just said? I got the fuck away from him because I was like, this nigga, like, this nigga just tell me he taking me shopping. And this is shit that goes on. So there's your little fruit pile. You little weird ass pictures and shit like that out there. I'm just sitting out there for no reason. You don't see actual pictures.
I guess he didn't want a party. You want a party? That's another thing he said one day in a video. You want a party?
Yeah. With Fabulous. You should pull that one up too. Pull that one up. So that's what I'm saying. It's been a lot of allegations about him for a long time. I mean, D, have you heard like these allegations before, or were you just shocked?
Yeah. No. The first time that I've heard about the allegations with Diddy is around the time when 50 Cent started, talking about him. Because when 50 gets you in the crosshairs, he don't give up on you. He was making he made a lot of fun and talked about it. But that was the first time that I've ever heard about it. I mean, like you say, he said it's been going on since the 90s. I was completely unaware. I remember, Puffy Diddy from being, rich and famous and having all the girls and all his videos and having beautiful wives and, beautiful baby mamas. I never would have guessed it.
Yeah, Pac and Death Row was trying to say he was gay. They was going at him too. To Suge Knight and Tupac.
Exactly. Like, I mean, I definitely heard about this. And Wendy Williams, shouts out to her. She's been saying it. This is the clip. Can y'all hear?
I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back on where I became.
Did you miss me though? For real? Because it seems like a thing.
I miss
this
partying
birthday
with
party,
Puff, man.
Man, but I'm talking about for your birthday.
Huh?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me.
Every day's your.
Oh my God, I can't. Woo, this has been the best part of this week. I mean, it's been a rough week with the news, but this was the comedy I needed. Man. So going back on a more serious note with this whole story, you guys are familiar with the Vote or Die campaign that he did, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have an interesting take, and I want to play this video for you guys. Diddy pretty much said something about voting that to me really stands out. He was saying in the last campaign that he was involved in that he was going to start challenging the Democrats and the Republicans for the black vote to say, why are we voting if we're not getting anything? Let me play this clip and get y'all's thoughts.
The voting blocks that they're going for, that'll put them in office. They need the African American voting bloc, the Latino voting bloc, and they're not bringing up the issues, and they're not making strong enough commitments for our votes. So we have to be undecided. We have to hold our votes, and we have to just hear what they have to say. And tomorrow, if they don't talk about what they're going to do for our communities that are in such dire service, that we're going to have something to say about that will kind of teach and educate from my perspective of, starting Vote or Die and being involved in how I'm disenfranchised with not seeing enough attention to a voting bloc that is just kind of guaranteed. They people.
So, I mean, my thought is this. I'm not saying that this whole voting thing is the main reason behind this, but I mean, he started distancing himself. He didn't really do it in the last campaign. So I'm curious as to say, did he burn bridges with political people by saying, hey, also, Dana talked about it last night. He did do something in 2020. He did that event where it was like a round table or something, Ray, that he said he did, and he was talking about reparations. He was going really hard, and I feel like he might have upset some people. I mean, not to mention the whole dispute he had with the liquor company. D, you're my conspiracy theorist friend on the line with me. What are your thoughts? Do you think he pissed off the wrong people, got a video he shouldn't have gotten, and refused to give it up?
When I was a child, my grandma used to always tell me, don't get too big for your britches, and I believe that that's what happened with Diddy. I believe he started talking about things that the powers that be didn't give him the green light on, right? Like the even the fact that he would bring up a notion that black people should demand something for their vote crossed the line. That crossed the line right there. That you shouldn't even put that in the idea of the heads of any black people. The Democrats already, they get our vote for free. How dare you say something so stupid to wake these guys up? And I also feel like that the thing that happened when he was going at it with the liquor company. I mean, these are very powerful people who know everyone who already knows you or in bed with you, Diddy. No, Diddy. Who work with you? They are you are and the things that go on. There's not a single person in Hollywood who's in the know who didn't know what was going on. So you didn't think they use any of this stuff against you? Yeah, you got to be careful when you get in bed with certain people. And I feel like that's what happened. He started talking about things that they didn't green light, and these are the repercussions of it.
I say that there's no wrath like a woman scorned. I'm gonna say Cassie brought the whole house of cards down because it's
Oh, now
always
you
a
sounded like those red pill dudes. They were blaming her when I was on their spaces.
well. Think about it. A woman is normally going to bring the kingdom down. There's plenty of kingdoms. Even the Garden of Eden fell because of a woman. So with Cassie, you done had this girl doing these freak offs. You done all this stuff to this girl. You didn't
Made
marry
her
her.
take out her breast implants. Don't forget that. That's what he was
Yeah.
talking about with the altering the look.
Didn't marry her. Then she run
Mm-hmm.
off with the trainer broke. You think that she wasn't gonna double back and say, I did all of this for you, and you think I'm gonna leave broke? Like he should have been paid Cassie off because he
True.
knows what situation he was in, or you should have married her. You bring her in these type of situations, you should have married her, then she can't testify against you. But
True.
you've done all these things and you didn't really like you should have been paying people off to keep it quiet because he got away with it for a long time. But
True.
then it just came when she did that. Because remember, that was the fastest settlement in history, right?
Yeah,
The fastest settlement in history. He paid it off like that. So like that was to me like a major sign that he was done. But I blame Cassie. Not saying she's a victim. She deserved to get what she got. And the one crime we know he did was assault, which we saw on camera. But I
Right.
truly believe she's the person that brought all of this to light.
yeah. I mean, I agree with Monte too. That definitely could play a major role in it because once the video came out, the whole world started looking at Diddy different.
True.
And people, no one likes to see a woman assaulted, no matter what she did. So you could be correct, Monte.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
He's good. You good. You good.
Um, so this next clip that I'm gonna play was DJ Academic's reaction. And I have a feeling that a lot of the Hollywood people had this same reaction. It's kind of funny, but it's good to play.
HSI executed search warrants at Combs's residences in Miami and Los Angeles. They also executed a warrant for Combs's electronic devices. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims. And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs, more than 1,000 bottles altogether.
KY stock going up.
Here are some of the items that we recovered during the searches.
I mean, it's almost like he's worried he's about to get caught on video. I'm so curious what the celebrities have to say. Especially old Barack Obama, because they were close. There's pictures of them very, very, very close. Gray, do you think that there's any Democratic politicians or even Trump? There's pictures of him with Trump that should be worried.
I know academics is your Jamaican brethren, but no, I don't think Republicans or Democrats. I don't necessarily think a politician would try to get into some dirt with a rapper or a producer or a record label owner. I'm gonna say I feel like they're gonna think they're like in a different league than someone like Diddy. That's just my assumption, but I think that Diddy's gonna, if he brings anybody down, it's probably gonna most likely be somebody in the music industry or like an actor or something. I would be extremely surprised if there's any politician that got involved with Diddy with crimes. What about you, D?
Yeah, I think a bunch of people going to jail. A bunch of them.
I
I
mean,
don't
they're
think
all
that.
here in this picture.
Yeah, I don't think that Trump and Obama. I don't think we have to worry about stuff like that because like Grace said that they have special islands that they go to for those kind of things, right? They don't hang out with the commoners, the people who only got $1 billion. They don't hang out with those guys, right? I think that we're going to see a lot of famous people, a lot of actors, a lot of musicians, a lot of producers, people in the industry, because Diddy is not going down by himself. I guarantee you. The only way possible that one of those people, like a high profile person, would be implicated, we'll have another Epstein situation where Diddy hangs himself, by some shoestrings in a cell or something like that. Because it's no way that they're going to go down with this guy. No way possible.
Agreed. I mean, why do you guys think that they're not letting him out of jail?
Because
It's too much of a high profile case. First off, it's been going
Okay.
on for so long, and he's a flight risk. He's rich. He could easily disappear faster than like a average person, and he did initially. So he's proven that he might do this. And a lot of people don't know this, but Diddy's father was actually a gangster. He was actually like involved in the streets, and he got murdered. And that was a part of why his mother wanted him to go to Howard University away from Harlem. So I mean, Diddy is connected with quite a few people. So as a judge, I think it made sense to deny his bond. What about you, D?
No, I mean, I agree with that because he definitely has the ability to leave. But if he was going to leave, I think he would have done it already. I think it's too late to
Agree.
leave. I think it's too late to leave now. I think the reason that they don't have they won't let him out on bond is because he knows too much. If there are names, high profile names that he can share, they don't want him. They don't want this guy doing any interviews. They don't want him to rat out any of the high tier people. So the best thing that we can do is keep him silenced and keep him locked up until we figure out what we're going to do with him. He's working on all the deals that need to be made. He's doing that now. That's my belief.
I don't think they're going to Epstein him because he has too many people attached to him. Epstein didn't have a wife. He didn't have a black mama that was going to go crazy. He didn't have his black daughters that could run their mouth. He had nobody. Epstein had no mama, no kids, no nothing. Diddy has a mama with a mouth, and he has those girls, and he has those boys, and he probably told them where the bodies are buried. He probably told them where all the videos are. Probably has a secret stash stashed away because I mean everybody knew that they were coming after him at some point. So he probably was prepared for this. In fact, he was prepared. He was in New York to give himself up willingly. That's why he moved to New York August and September because he knew that these grand juries were going on and he wanted to be prepared to relinquish himself.
That makes sense. I mean, so are you saying that all the federal cases are being held in New York? Because is this a Fed or a state crime?
This is a
That's
Fed
federal.
case.
Federal.
Yeah.
Because
And
he
there's
crossed state
oh,
lines.
fun fact, there's 5 AUSAs on this. 5. Have y'all ever heard of 5 ever being on anybody's case?
I
Five
haven't.
SA charges?
5 AUSA, all white women.
No, she's talking about
The
the
attorney,
attorneys, the
Oh,
attorney
the
general,
attorneys?
yeah,
Oh,
the
the
state
district
attorneys.
attorneys?
the
Oh,
state
okay.
attorneys, yeah, for the feds,
It's a federal case.
yeah.
I haven't followed too many Fed cases, but they have a 95% conviction rate. So I'm pretty sure Diddy's smartest move is to plea out but I'm sure he's gonna take it to trial because he's looking at life. So we'll see what he does. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be bigger than the Young Thug case.
Oh, way bigger, way bigger.
Yeah.
Way bigger. So, last question I have for y'all. Who do y'all think is next to get implicated in all of this? What big names do you guys predict will be tied up in this?
I'll
I
let D
think
go first.
I 100%. I believe Young Miami is involved in this. I believe she's
Too.
going to jail. There's rumors of her, delivering cocaine to Diddy. There's rumors of her going to get. He sent her to go get girls. This is all rumors now. I can't prove any of this, but I've been hearing this since the case has been going on. So I think her for sure, and I don't know his son probably because there's cases against his son for SM women also.
I think what's going to actually come out is more people that were surprised were victims, like how you brought up Kid Cudi being one of the people that was attacked. I feel like we're going to be surprised at some of the people that in the industry that Diddy assaulted or set up or drugged. That's what I think is going to come out. There's a video going around right now of Diddy and Travis Scott where people are trying to say that Diddy did something to Travis Scott. And then
Wow.
originally, in the original paperwork, people are accusing him of doing something to Meek Mill. And then, you had the video going around, the
Excuse
audio,
me.
where it sounded like Diddy was assaulting Meek Mill. So what Jaguar Wright said, and I'm no conspiracy theorist, but she was saying that, the record label people did that to Diddy originally when they gave him the label, they were essaying him. So, they say hurt people, or people who have went through that do it to other people. So it's been said that it happened to him. So then he was doing it to other people. So I think what I think will be surprising some of the victims that come out.
Hmm. Well, Jaguar Wright also says she thinks Jay-Z's next. So we'll see about that, allegedly.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Well,
don't. I don't see. I just don't see Jay Z being involved in that. I just feel like
me either.
yeah, he just seems too smart for that kind of stuff. But I could be
Well,
wrong.
let's think about this. His two closest friends are in jail. R. Kelly, because they were very close, and P. Diddy.
I think it's two big differences on like how they came in the game. Jay-Z came in the game selling drugs, and he had money already. Him, Dame Dash, and Biggs with the Rockefeller label. So I mean, I don't feel like they would have had to, kneel to somebody to like get opportunity. They paid their way to get in, and they went to multiple labels, and nobody wanted to sign Jay Z. And Jay Z's pretty much he's kind of smart, and Dame
Mhm.
Dash was with him the whole time. Dame is very aggressive, so I would be shocked to hear anything coming from their camp like this.
Well, let us know what you guys think in the chat. Who do you think is next that they're going to expose? Is Diddy going to ever get bail or is he in there till trial? What are we predicting is going to happen? Is he guilty, 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 or is he innocent and being framed? Um, Also, don't forget to register to vote at vote.org. Gray, what's your closing words?
If you guys watch the video, I don't know if people watch this in the future, but we'll be on the Judge Joe Brown Man-Up Show with Dana tonight at what time, Nora?
Let's say 8:30 to be safe.
8:30. You guys can catch us. Please like, share, subscribe. What about you, D?
Yeah, I just want to say that most normal people who don't have 1,000 bottles of lube in the house.
I don't even have any
That's,
body
so
oil.
no, you don't have any. You gotta have some, just a little bit, but not a
Yeah,
thousand.
lotion.
Not 1,000 bottles.
Right.
Hey guys, Diddy's a wild boy, man. Diddy's a
All
wild
I
boy.
gotta say is those male commercial sex workers was hurting. They was coming out of that lipping.
Yes, yes, they were. They had to be wheelchair. They had to be
Right,
wheelchair out,
right, right,
loaded
right,
loaded into the Uber.
Diddy, boy, you a bad boy. You named the right name for your label, boy. You was a bad boy.
Yes, he
Did he
is.
do it?
Yeah.
Let us know. Did he do it? And as always, vote.
Vote.
Vote.